Hello everyone, welcome back to the English online class. This is Sindhu David, your English teacher. Today I will teach you a poem from your main reader Honeydew book, The Duck and the Kangaroo by Edward Lear. Let's learn something about poet Edward Lear. Edward Lear was an English artist, illustrator, musician, author and poet. He wrote many deeply fantastical poems about imaginary creatures such as the dawn with the luminous nose. His books of humorous verse also include nonsense songs and laughable lyrics. The Duck and the Kangaroo is a famous poem by Edward Lear. In this poem, a duck wants to be able to jump around and see the world like a kangaroo. So, it asks a kangaroo to take him on its back. Now I will explain the poem line by line. First recite the poem. First stanza of the poem. Said the duck to the kangaroo, "Good gracious, how you hop over the fields and the water too, as if you never would stop. My life is a bore in this nasty pond, and I long to go out in the world beyond. I wish I could hop like you," said the duck to the kangaroo. In this stanza, the duck is amazed to see the movement of the kangaroo. It expressed that the kangaroo could hop continuously over the fields and water bodies. The duck's life was boring as it remained in the pond all the time. It wished to see the world beyond the limits of the pond. It wishes that it could also hop like the kangaroo. Here the word nasty means unpleasant. Come to the second stanza. "Please give me a ride on your back," said the duck to the kangaroo. "I would sit quite still and say nothing but quack the whole of the long day through, and we would go to the Dee and the Jelly Bow Lee, over the land and over the sea. Please take me a ride, or do," said the duck to the kangaroo. Here the duck requests the kangaroo to give it a ride on its back. It promised that it would sit quietly and would just quack all day. The meaning of the word quack means the sound made by the duck. The duck lists the places that they would visit as Dee and Jelly Bow Bee. These two places are the imaginary distant places. It added that they would hop over the land and the sea. Now comes the third stanza. Said the kangaroo to the duck, "This requires some little reflection. Perhaps on the whole it might bring me luck. And there seems but one objection, which is, if you will let me speak so bold, your feet are unpleasantly wet and cold, and would probably give me the rheumatiz," said the kangaroo. The kangaroo replied that it had to think over it. The idea could be good for him, but he had an objection, that the duck's wet and cold feet could give it body pain. Here the meaning of the word reflection is thought, and rheumatism is actually the word rheumatism. It is a disease cause pain in the joints and the muscles. The word rheumatism is spelled differently and is in two parts, so that it can rhyme with kangaroo in the following line. This has been done in order to enhance the poetic effects of the line. Here comes the stanza 4. Said the duck, "As I sat on the rock, I have thought over that completely, and I bought 4 pairs of rusted socks, which fit my web feet neatly. And to keep out the cold, I have bought a cloak, and every day a cigar I will smoke, all to follow my own dear true love of a kangaroo." The duck said that as it sat on the rocks during the day, it had thought over it. In order to avoid that, the duck had bought 4 pairs of worsted socks, which fitted its web-shaped feet well. In order to stay warm, it would wear a shrug and also smoke a cigar every day. The duck would do all this to protect the kangaroo, as it was a beloved. Here the word worsted means woolen. Worsted socks means woolen socks. And the word cloak means shrug or robe. Now come to the next stanza 5. Said the kangaroo, I am ready, all in the moonlight pale, but to balance me well, dear duck, sit steady, and quite at the end of my tail. So away they went with a hop and a bound, and they hopped the whole world 3 times round. And who so happy, oh who, as the duck and the kangaroo? In this stanza, the kangaroo was satisfied with the duck's response and got ready for the ride. At night, when the sky was filled with the pale light of the moon, they started their trip with a hop, and kangaroo asked the duck to hold it firmly, and they travelled around the world 3 times. Both of them enjoyed each other's company. Now students, I will tell you figure of speech. A figure of speech is a word or phrase that is used in a non-literal way to create an effect. Figures of speech function as literary devices because of their expressive use of language. Words are used in other ways than their literal meaning or typical manner of application. Some of the examples of figure of speech are simile, metaphor, personification, alliteration, and repetition. Let's see what are the figures of speech used in the poem The Duck and the Kangaroo. First is personification. Personification gives human qualities to animals or non-living things. Example, the duck and kangaroo are given person-like qualities. Second is repetition. Repetition is a figure of speech in which a word or phrase is repeated 2 or more times. The line, said the duck to the kangaroo, is repeated in the poem. Third is alliteration. Alliteration is the repetition of the beginning sounds of neighboring words, like good gracious.